Hello everyone and welcome to our rain watch on August 4th, 2024. So what's happening is we're tracking this very active band of rain coming in from the west that is going to really impact the west and northwest through today, tomorrow and tonight especially. All areas will see impacts, but the west and northwest will see the greatest impacts as the rain will basically linger there the whole of this afternoon, evening and tonight, and also tomorrow morning before it finally clears eastwards in the evening tomorrow. So we have a yellow warning for all of Connacht, also into Clare and Donegal, while there is actually a separate orange warning for counties Galway, Mayo and Donegal, as the impacts there will just be that bit stronger. So looking at our satellite imagery on Sunday in the morning at about 11, we can see we have this massive cloud piling in from the west. We're already seeing a lot of rain piling into the north and west. The radar imagery does show that quite nicely. Patchy rain in parts of the Midlands and East now, but further west we do have this wad of rain pushing in. And once that gets going, there's pretty much no end, because we see this area of frontal clouds trails all the way down towards the southwest. Also, on the cold front, you can see that there is some lightning flashing away, like some strikes over here. Also down here, there's a few storms. So there's a possibility of embedded storms as this system moves into the country, as there will be a very warm and humid air mass clashing with a much cooler and fresher air mass behind that on westerly winds. So yes, quite a bit of rain coming in, especially, as I said, for those western and northern counties today, tomorrow and tonight. But tomorrow morning and afternoon, all areas will see a couple of hours of probably quite heavy rain as it comes eastwards. So even though elsewhere, away from the west and north, the rain will only be there for a few hours, while it's around, it's likely to be quite torrential. So here is the Rome model. Okay, so what we can see here, again, this morning we saw patchy rain coming in on the warm front. Then today itself we're seeing heavier rain pushing in towards Connacht, Ulster and North Leinster along that trailing cold fronts. Elsewhere it is dry with cloud and some drizzle. Into tonight, tonight we see further spells of heavy rain pushing in towards those, again, western and northern counties. Just prolonged heavy rain from this afternoon, especially in Galway, Mayo and Donegal, where that orange warning is. Now tomorrow, Monday, we finally see that cold front starting to push eastwards, but along the cold front again, there can be some heavy bursts in there and some embedded embedded storms in there as well, as it pushes slowly but surely southeastwards, and it should clear the east coast by about 6 p.m. tomorrow. It hasn't fully updated yet. Okay, so here is the GFS. So GFS, once again today, brings heavy rain into Connacht, Ulster and North Leinster. So really, actually, even if you're not in the warning zone, like for example in North Leinster and most of Ulster, you've got a lot of rain coming even today. Tonight and tomorrow, once again, the rain just keeps going, especially in the far northwest. Those yellow shades there showing some torrential bursts coming through. Into Monday, well, you see very heavy rain in the northwest early on, before the cold front moves slowly but surely southeastwards. Before the cold front moves slowly but surely southeastwards of the country. And once again, some heavy bursts in there are possible, with, again, spot flooding in some areas. It'll clear the east coast though by about midnight, by about 9 p.m. really. The GFS and the Rome definitely have the cold front on the more active end of the scale, because there are some models that, especially the UKV, don't really have much activity on that cold front. So here's the ECM. Once again, we have this rain piling into those western and northern counties today. Deluge there. Watch out, for all the hazards that might come with it. And then into tomorrow, where we see this cold front coming through. So I think the ECM is an example of a model that isn't so active with the cold front. Some heavy rain, yes, coming through in the north on the cold front, but in the south, there's not much activity. It's a lot of light to moderate blues, although some big showers do form possibly in the east as it clears. But I think the ECM is a bit towards the weaker end of the scale. But either way, yeah, very heavy rain and yeah, a lot of hazards possible through the north and west, especially. Those are the key areas into the next day, 24 hours. So here is the GEM. Once again, GEM. Again, constant outbreaks of rain, very persistent in the west and northwest, and just driving in on those moisture-laden southwesterly winds through today, tonight, and tomorrow. Finally, tomorrow, the cold front moves eastwards, and on that cold front, the GEM actually does produce some very heavy bursts of rain, and again, possibly thunderstorms embedded in there. And it finally clears through into Tuesday to leave a day of sunshine and showers, and a much cooler, fresher day as well. So here's the UKV. Once again, this morning we saw the warm front coming through, so all areas got some patchy rain. And today, though, once again, in come those very moisture-laden southwesterly winds, so a deluge comes through for all of Ulster, North Leinster, and parts of North Connacht here. Into this evening then, well, this evening the UKV sort of doesn't have much rain at all in parts of the northwest. It just sort of goes drizzly for a while. Then into the early hours of the morning, this next area of heavy rain comes through. Some very heavy rain on there, some red colours there, big bursts of rain. Again, risk of thunderstorms in there. And then through the morning, the cold front moves in. So yes, very heavy rain in northwest, but elsewhere, like if you're not in like Galway, Mayo, Clare, Roscommon, Leitrim, Donegal, it's really a band of light to moderate rain and gusty winds. There's not much activity on there at all with the UKV, which is very strange. The UKV has been very stubborn with the idea of the cold front being no more than a band of gusty winds and light to moderate rain. And then it clears through, but as it clears, it gets back to its intense form with some heavy rain on that. But that is after it moves off the east coast. So the UKV deluge for the north and west, but elsewhere really not that much rain. Right, here is the here's the icon. Okay, so icon once again brings a heavy spell of rain into west and northwest. Persistent that's the key. It's persistence. So obviously it'll build up over time, especially like on the hills, western facing hills and coasts. Strong southerly winds as well. So that as well. Into tomorrow though, once again the cold front comes through. Yeah, maybe the northeast, not so much of an active system there in parts of like Ulster and North Leinster, but for the south, yeah, we really do see that rain getting quite heavy as it moves eastwards. So really, I think we're quite certain on the facts that pretty much from today about now till this time tomorrow, it won't stop raining in the northwest. There may be some breaks of drizzle, but even if they come through, soon enough it will rain again heavily with strong southerly winds, intense downpours in that cold front. But there's uncertainty about how strong that front will be as it moves southeastwards of the country in tomorrow, Monday. Like the UKV and in some way the ECM have it not that intense, while all the other charts have it bringing a spell of active rain, gusty winds, and downpours through. So that is something to watch. As we go into the arpege, lastly, we see once again heavy rain pushing into Ulster and Connacht today. All areas in the north covered this evening, and then into tonight, we'll just keep seeing this heavy rain piling into the northwest. Before on Monday, once again the rain, heavy at times, moves eastwards and clears the east coast by evening time. Okay, so before we go, I do want to show you something. It's quite rare for there to be any sort of indication of thunderstorms when you've actually got an Atlantic front coming through. But weatheronline.co.uk says that for say East Leinster and Ulster tomorrow, there's about a 5% chance of storms coming through. So that's something interesting. Normally, if it's just a westerly front, it doesn't really show anything, but it's actually showing a chance of storms, which is quite interesting. So this is definitely favouring an active cold front, especially as it moves into the east of the country, but really all areas are at risk of seeing heavy rain, torrential rain, especially, as I said, for the next whole day in the northwest. So do take care up there. We will track the rain together as it moves in. Looking at the radar, yeah, you can see heavy rain already piling in, and you can see with the radar relief rain, especially on the hills. You can see the bright colours there. As the rain rises, as the air rises, we see more condensation and therefore more rainfall, especially on high ground and on the western facing hills. And then, yeah, there is a bit of thunder down there, but that is still very far away and not for concern. But just a bit of interesting info there with this little forecast map. Everyone, thank you for watching. Stay safe in the rain, especially if you're in those western northern counties. I will just show you the warnings that we have in force. I already told you about them, but we'll go through them again. Once again, you've got a yellow warning for all of Connacht, Clare and Donegal. That is from midday today till midday tomorrow, so a whole 24-hour period there with a rain warning in force. Also, embedded in that, we have this orange warning for Galway, Mayo and Donegal from midnight tonight till 10 AM tomorrow, just for more severe impacts there. And I'm sure that if you might remember, I think yesterday or the day before, in one of these videos, I did say that I thought that there'd be an orange warning for these three counties. And sorry to say this, right? I don't mean to brag, but I was right about this. I was right about that. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with my prediction going correct. Everyone, thanks for watching. I will see you later on, and stay safe, and bye for now.